All right, so I was a little late in setting up the drone for this game. Truthfully, I don't think this game, there's a whole lot we can learn from, since you were missing 2 key members of your team, so it kind of just became the Dempsey show, though it was really fun to watch. So in this game, anyone with just a straight blue shirt was from Buckingham's U14 team, so the 2 kids next to you. Anyone with the white stripe on the sleeve, they're on the U12 team. So again, I'm kind of going to keep track of this because you made a lot of defensive stops, so you had 1 there. This is good, working yourself to the middle of the field. You just have more options when you do that. Now, one thing about that, I know we talked about potentially taking a shot from midfield. They redid the lines, so it may not have that distance advantage this side of the field versus the other side. Although, truthfully, the left side does look bigger again. All right. I didn't have the zoom feature on the drone yet, so I'm probably going to have a different clip in a second as I turn that on. Okay, your positioning here was good. When you're the guy that has to make the stops, you can't just guard one person. That makes you too easily, accounted for. So you got to take a general position guarding in there. All right, here you go again. And off you run. Gave it to Isaac. I think that's Isaac. Then you got to come back again. Interesting roll by Caleb. But you can see when it's a situation like this, where Buckingham clearly has the advantage, they really just need to get shots at goal. Take as many shots as possible and just get them, at least on target. Because, you never know when you'll get lucky. All right. The play here, truthfully, they haven't learned to, well, I guess he did learn to guard you. One of their U14 players is guarding you. Brian just needs to kick it, hopefully get it airborne, and just send it upfield and then let you run onto it. So he passed it to Lucy, which is okay. Lucy got it to you, so it worked out, but it's risky. You never really want to pass backwards across the field. So it was good that Brian cleared it, but you can see he just cleared it straight to some Buckingham players. A better play would have been down at the bottom of the screen into that open space. All right, you made another great stop defensively. You're off to the races. Caspian's just kind of getting in the way there. Getting in the way again. I mean, that's wizardry stuff there. He needs to give that back to you. See, and this is just, he hasn't played in a couple years, so he doesn't get a lot of the concepts, but you really want to be moving away from your teammates. And that was good. The throw at fields, that's not a bad thing. It says Isaac gets it, and he's able to churn with it. Perfect. Little stop and go hesitation. That was an awesome pass to Caspian. It went to his right foot too. I don't know how you could have done that any better. But again, this player, Buckingham, she just kind of goes forward. Yeah. So that's your 5th stop, I believe, on defense. Now, what you want to do in a game like this is, Yellow Shoes. So he is one of the younger players on their team. Still U12. But see how he kept running with you, kept pursuing? make those mental notes early in the game to know what kind of people give up. A lot of the people that you passed at midfield, as soon as you got by them, they gave up. But number 10 here with the yellow shoes, he kept pursuing you. Now, in this situation, the front line should move up. The midfield should move up. We should be trying to trap him there. All right, so you did good pushing him to the outside, but ultimately when he gets by you, you got to have a little more effort catching up. So this part of your guys' game, it just seemed to lack a general strategy. That big guy seems to guard you, and I really don't know what the plan is. Brian's just got to be sure of himself and not slow down. Sometimes he gets a running start, and then he stops, and then he just does a one-step kick. Yeah, right there. And it robs him of power. So he goes over to Lucy again, which, tires you out because now you got to switch sides. But that was a good stop by Lucy. I think Lucy has a lot of promise. I don't know if she's played before. I think that's your 6th stop. You're off to the races, and you'll tire big man out. I mean, if he keeps chasing you like this, he won't be able to last like you will. All right, this is kind of tough. When the ball goes out, a lot of the advantage is to do a quick throw. Now, they're subbing, so you won't be able to do that. But, one of the things when you're the single guy, do you throw it in? And then the person you're throwing it to, they can't do anything with it? Or do you have somebody who can't necessarily throw it to you? Now, they took off the big guy that was guarding you, and it looks like the Memphis character's switching to you, and so does Red. So Isaac just needs to throw it towards the other goal. So again, that wasn't a good decision. You still get it, so that's good. Now there's too much action around you. Good change of direction, but I would try to flip it back and put it just in front of the box. That's a very difficult play to make. Again, very minimal effort from Caleb. Caleb's got to come off the line. The goalie just standing on the goal line is the smallest target, the smallest he will be. He's got to, as soon as they pass midfield, he's got to start tracking the ball and coming out. He's going back to the line again. All right, so yeah, you don't need to be going back to the defense here. I don't know if they switched you with Brian or what, but wherever you're going to be, that's where the ball's going to go. These 3 guys won't be able to keep possession up here. So it's better to keep the possession towards midfield than back by your own goal. Yeah, that was good of Brian. He's keeping his head up, and now he found you, and now you're already past their forwards. Now you've got Red, who never gives up. So you take the shots when you can get them. That was a monster kick right there. All right, good. I think that's number 8. And these were tough stops. They weren't just you standing there waiting defensive position. This is you tracking back 50, 60 yards to make the stop. Now you see how Buckingham has no discipline. Their whole line is all on this right flank. That's going to be a goal, yeah. So you got to recognize that threat. This is something that Felix wasn't doing in his game either. When somebody gets a running start from a pass, you got to run with them. And one of the downsides to, giving up 2 quick goals like that is you see how slow everyone's walking. Everyone's kind of demoralized. One of the big things I know, you can kind of see it with Sydney here. Now, you'll see later with Sydney, she'll get energized and she'll be moving a lot faster. See, Brian's got some decent footwork. I don't know what Buckingham's doing. Well, he lost the ball. Now, the Memphis kid, he seemed to really struggle with your side-to-side moves. You know, you're doing the croquetas. That was a good stop by Christian. I'd like to see more of it. I mean, he's got the build of somebody who should be running a lot more than he does. I think that's number 9. A little dangerous there. Your first touch was a little too heavy. Now you see how Red's going to hustle to get back to you? Yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do. With him, a lot of stop and go, change of direction. He does these really long strides when he runs. I worry about his joints in his older age. But that's a Red. Grayson. All right, so yeah. See how they're all huddled here? You just go over their heads. Isaac needs to go to goal fast. And, I mean, that was a perfect throw. You'd have had somebody else in there. And this is good. You see how they made Grayson turn? So he does his big looping run, and he gets half the distance upfield. Yeah, she's like a good 5 feet offside. I mean, that was a decent stop by Caleb. The girl did kick it right at him, but he's got to control it. I mean, they call the offside here, but you don't want to concede a corner there. And truthfully, at this level, you know, they're not really good at corners anyways. I'd say the other PEFYA team probably is, so you want to minimize the corners given up. Brian just needs to find this to you. You'll beat any of the Buckingham guys on a 50-50 ball. But he needs to run up and kick it. Don't stop. See, he's going to rob himself of power. Plus, by staring at you, now Memphis has shifted over. See, you got to move now. So once they go over and guard you, if they're in front of you, they can see the ball, but they can't see you. That's when you got to shift behind them and find a new spot. Got the drone ready this time. Now, it looks like he left Grayson on there, and he brought back the tall kid, but Memphis is off. And then this other guy with a dark blue shirt, again, another U14 player. I don't remember anything well that he did. So, you know, that's a good thing. Now, like I said, we can't learn much from this game because the parts of your game you need to work on, you know, movement, off ball, passing, things like that, you can't really do in this setting. I really liked what you did, pausing with the ball in the defensive half and letting them come to you because you end up spreading out the defense, or spreading out Buckingham. The 2 people you got by, they kind of slowed down and gave up. Eventually they made it back, but in real life you would have an option up front that you could play the ball up to, and now there's 2 less guys to beat. And then truthfully, in this situation, again, you should probably be doing the goal kicks. I get the idea that by not having you in the field, you can't get it. Well, one goes with there. But Buckingham keeps having their 14 players up, their U14, so you can kick it over their heads. He just throws Caspian aside. Good stop by Brian. Sage needed to not kick that out of bounds. There's no benefits of that. But if you're doing the goal kick, you can kick it over their heads, and we get it to their back line who's sitting there. Maybe they clear it back to you, maybe they struggle with it, but it gives you guys time to adapt and respond. Now, Caspian's real concerned about making a wall on a throw-in. I don't think people score from a throw-in. Now, you want to run with Isaac here. Ultimately, he's going to lose the ball, but this guy's going to have to turn. So good. That's it. And one of the benefits to pushing Buckingham to the bottom of the screen is that's their left side, and it doesn't look like any of these guys can kick with their left foot. So they ultimately have to stop, circle around, and line up their right. Quality clearance from Sage. Ooh. Yep, handball. It was a good decision by Grayson to play that in. Again, you're the threat. You keep making the defensive stops. So in this situation, he shouldn't try to beat you off the dribble. Not going to happen. So he played up to one of his other guys and let them try against your teammates. See, you guys are kind of very unorganized. You want to have some people in front of the ball making a wall, and I didn't know the goalie needed so much help. But there needs to be more organization. But people need to watch soccer games. And plus, Buckingham should be in the box, too. I don't know why they're not there. But typically, you have maybe 3, 4, 5 guys making a wall up close as the ref will allow you, and everyone else will guard a person. One of the problems with having everyone stand next to Caleb is Caleb won't be able to run left and right. I don't know if you would run left or right anyways. So again, you probably want to sneak behind them. All right, got that to you? Good. Very good. Now you never want to do a drag back when somebody's chasing you. It just goes right to them. Good angle coming back defensively. And that was a pretty stellar cross by him. So I think that's your second stop this quarter. So in this situation, when the ball goes out, when you have Felix on the team, know that Felix is going to run for a quick throw. Caspian needs to throw this up the line to Isaac. Good. He wants to get a little more oomph on that. Well, I'll get a Caspian handball. But, yeah, so if it goes out, be prepared. Felix is conditioned to run out of bounds, grab that ball, and then do a quick throw-in. So you're going to have to go with him. He's going to be looking for you. And again, you want to line up his distance. You guys are all kind of standing in a line. It doesn't really make much sense. People need to fan out wide. I do like one person staying up close, like where Isaac is, just to affect where he's looking. It's a solid save by Caleb. And again, good job not getting in this scrum. Nothing good will come of it. Best to just wait for the ball to come free. And again, we'll see if he'll be able to. He shouldn't be able to kick it with his left. So he's going to have to circle around, and it gives you the advantage. And he just did another drag back to you. Beautiful. Isaac's just got to go. Streak to the middle of the field. Well, he's just... Well. No, in this situation, if you could lift it in the air, drop it in front of Isaac, that would be perfect. He's got to stop stopping. He's got to keep running. Like, he can't score from 40 yards out like that. All right, look where the goalie's positioned. See how far back he is on the goal? This is one, if you can curve it, sneak it into the near post. You really need people to move in front of the box, though. I think I was yelling out for Isaac to go in front of the goal. But he didn't want to do it.
It's noisy down there.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't end up in the recording. All right, so now you've got this Buckingham player guarding the near post, so that quick shot in there becomes less. Well, they're taking him out. So remember, there's 10 with the green shoes. We know that he hustles when you get by him. A lot of kids give up. He hustles. Grayson hustles. All right, so Caspian's doing a throw. In this situation, it's probably best. You don't want to do the throw because it takes you out of the play defensively. Good job fighting for that ball. See, in that situation, when you did the move to create a little bit of space, you needed to take the shot then. Truthfully, you have no shot there, but there's no other better play. Just get the ball in the air, hope for something good. You might get a handball. The goalie might just drop it into the goal. So again, this little guy, I don't know anything about the guy doing the goal kick. I would assume he doesn't have much of a leg, but you guys need to be fanned out wide, not linear. See how Doc and Isaac are in the same line? Now, a decent leg. Yeah, you need to be in that person's face a little bit more. So, I mean, this to me is amazing. You went the entire length of the field to make the stop. Probably shouldn't lose the ball to that guy, though. It is picking up the music a little bit downstairs. I don't even know what the call is there. They need to go way downfield. And if they don't get downfield, if they go like 20 yards, yeah, I don't know what they're doing. You're going to kick right over their heads. Like, and maybe that's them not knowing your range, but to me, that's what you want. And that's the perfect thing that happened. Their lesser players tried to return it, and it doesn't get all the way back. And then you've got an opportunity for counter goal. Time to go, yeah. One person to beat. Oh, the touch needed to be a little bit tighter there. You got by the whole field. And the last little person, is that little number 10? All right, so the 3 forwards need to kind of move back. I don't know if Isaac's doing it intentionally, but I kind of like it. Standing there is going to mess with this guy's, the way he approaches this kick, because he's going to be thinking about Isaac and lifting it high. See, there we go. Use your body to shield him. If somebody's being that aggressive, before you get control of the ball, just start boxing them out. Now, you see how he gave up? He's not really fighting for that ball anymore. Certain people give up and fight. All right, this guy's a little fighter. He's trying to get back in the play. Now they're going to concede the corner kick. But that's halftime. You need help. All right, we're on to the third quarter. A big difference here was we got Walker to suit up for you. And I know he didn't feel like he did as much as he could. Just having him there took a lot of pressure off of you. They couldn't just account for you. They had to account for him too. And they realized that pretty quickly. And whenever she does it, she always kicks the ball straight ahead and then charges in. So you see how that little stick you had where you kind of went to go by her and you kind of forgot the ball? That gave her a lot of incentive to keep attacking you like it was working. Now Walker's to go towards the goal. Yeah, see? Run towards the goal on those always. And a lot of that's, he's got to get used to what your range is as a thrower. Now Red, he does big looping circles. See, you can't jab in. It will never work. You've got to time when he does his kicks, because he basically kicks and runs. So time when he about to catch up to a big, one of his big kicks, and then go after it. But never right as he's going to get to it at the same time. He's deceptively fast. So in that situation, you needed to drop back and then try to time that a little bit better. Yeah, one of the rules of thumb with corner, kind of soccer in general, you always have to be looking at the ball. Like, the ball shouldn't hit your back. And again, this is good. Even though he got like a good foot on that, he had moved so far outside of the 18-yard box that angle just wasn't favorable for him, especially running backwards. Now again, you're not doing Brian any favors by kind of like allowing somebody to front you and not move. That was a pretty good goal kick by Brian. Now this is the Walker effect. Well, if nothing else, he runs over Grayson. But having a second threat, it's somebody else they have to account for. He plays up, you play back. All right, and that was decent timing there, because he does those long dribbles too, where he kicks it. He kicks it, 10, 15 yards, and then runs to it, and then kicks it 10, 15 yards. It's not a smart way to film it, and of course he just scores from it. But that was more of a thing, is you didn't time it well. You got to it at the same moment he did, instead of getting there a moment sooner or just waiting for the next big dribble. Now in this situation, Walker should play it back to you. Doc needs to move kind of to the left or the right. Yeah, that's going to be a turnover. Yeah. So Walker had the right idea, where he played it back and then he ran upfield. But Doc can't make that pass. I like what Brian does. He kind of will often, he's got good timing how long he waits. And then he feeds you. And this is perfect. This is how you play. You did a great job playing that upfield to Walker. You had good weight on it. I think most of your passes coming forward, it's just going to be too heavy. It's a good stopping you feed Walker now. See, it's too much dribbling. In this situation, you need to feed your teammate, right? When you notice a sea of blue around you, it's time to feed him. Now, this is good movement by you, and good of Brian to catch you. I mean, Brian has done pretty well in this game. See, Walker needs to stop coming towards you. You've got enough leg to find him. So, yeah, by him coming towards you, he's a little late to that ball. And again, to me, that's perfect. He took the ball from the corner, did one move, got by his guy, and then, misses a goal by a matter of inches. It's something else to think about for the defense. And if you play mid or back when, Felix and Catalina get back, you're going to want to feed them as well. See these guys? Like, they're not... Teams aren't going to put their top guys behind, the defensive line. So again, Walker needs to... See how long they take to do that? Walker needed to be really aggressive. And, again, if you play them again and you're playing up and you've got Felix back, you need to be really aggressive. See, and that's perfect timing with him. You caught him in between one of his long dribbles. Now, that weight was too much. That was kind of on you. I thought Walker was in a good spot. You need to take it and go. Yeah, dribble up. You need to dribble up faster. That was good. The goals get quite a bit easier if you take them head on. When you take the shots from the side, it's easier for the goalie to occlude the goal, to block the shot. When you position yourself in front of the goal, you have a much higher success rate. See, that's in a situation where when Beans gets on your team, she needs to be at that corner of that circle, so they can't make that pass. All right, Walker needs to start moving upfield because this is going to be coming back soon. See, I would dribble up. You dribble up till somebody stops you. See, that pass wasn't needed. You got one guy, he's, 20 yards in front of you, but behind him is a sea of blue. So that's a second altercation with those two. And, like I said, Grayson is now being concerned with Walker. He's now running to guard Walker. And before, he just marked you. All right, a little too much weight on it. You probably want to put a little bit of backspin, maybe have it a little bit higher. And in that situation, you need to communicate with Isaac. He probably heard footsteps. He doesn't know whose footsteps they are. I'm pretty sure he probably didn't say anything. Again, don't play, back and forth with people. You're too good. It's too much of a waste of your time. Again, a little too much weight on the pass. I would have held it a bit longer, made the defense commit to you, and then laid it off to Walker. But that's the perfect idea. In that quick throw, you caught him sleeping, and then he's able to hopefully almost make something happen. Again, Grayson did one of his long dribbles, and you caught it in between. You're to the middle, take the shot. All right. You missed, and that's okay. That was perfect timing on that. You could see the way Grayson was playing it is he was going to let it go by him, and then he was going to get the running start and run onto it. Now, in this situation, Walker probably should park himself right in front of the goalie because it's almost within your range to score. But see, that's a little too far away. Well, it still works out. That was a good cutback. Yeah, and it's unfortunate. It's just the crowd of people was a little much for him because I saw him in the prior game heading on the same side of the field, heading left. He was able to make that shot. It was a good kick coming across his body. Now, a normal player would wait for their main guy to stop tying his shoe here. All right, again, this is a situation when you get your team back. Beans needs to be at the corner of this circle. Well, whoever's playing forward, whether it's Beans or Felix. Now you can see this girl, she's going to kick it straight ahead. I'm not sure what the call is. Probably another handball, I guess. And again, this is range where if I were Walker, I'd plant it right in front of the goal. Oh, you needed to lift that a bit more. So in this situation, I would like Walker to come forward to draw the defense forward and then allow you to throw it over everyone's head. And then as you're throwing it, he turns around and sprints at it. Kind of like that, except instead of Dox, it'd be Walker. And again, it's just a type of misdirection. You know, if he runs towards you, and he looks real excited, they're going to want to step up and guard him. Got to be careful here. Yeah. Caleb is, 3 feet into the goal. That was an excellent save by you. In that situation, when a player's playing very aggressive, you don't want to cut back towards your own goal. I mean, you can, but you got to be very careful with it. You did. It worked, but then he shoulder bumped you off the ball. Caleb retreated into the goal. That quarter went a little long, too. Now, truthfully, in a lot of soccer games, too, is finding your moments, right? Coach did this interesting where he had Walker play back and you played up. See, I don't know why you decided to try to stick a foot up in the air to kind of catch that. Just go where the ball's going. Again, attack this kid. Yeah. He's going off to the corner. That's never a good sign. It was a decent cross if that girl had been on your team. And again, you want to swing behind these guys because this ball's probably going to be coming back your way. He's got a pretty good, I don't know what I'd call that move, but like a stop and change of direction. Very close to scoring. And he kind of made that himself. That would have been, yep. This goalie's been flirting with that for a while, doing those drop kicks, where he drops the ball and punts it. Very effective kick if you can do it, but you got to start the drop before you get to the line. And truthfully, that's probably not his first handball from the spot, from that spot. Because in soccer, it's not where your feet are, it's where the ball is. And as always, you do phenomenal with these set pieces. The placement's always good. I would probably have, Walker, I think that's Isaac. They want to charge in after you kick it, just in case there's a deflection. Kudos to Brady to hurrying to the ball back to the midfield circle. All right, again, so Memphis is doing, I think he's going to play it back. You probably want to be in the corner of this circle where it intersects. Yeah. You want to go with him and support him. And again, use this time while the goalie's chasing that ball to start setting up in position. Then you can direct your players too, if you ever want to tell them. But again, they want to fan wide. And truthfully, you want to put people where you don't want them to kick it. I would almost have everyone fan wide, you stay in the middle, inviting them to pass it to the middle to make it look less congested there. But if everyone's in the middle, they're not going to go there. Well, she went there, so there goes that theory. Walker's a fair bit offside there. Looks like that mom helped us out with that call. I don't know if I recognize her. Putting the arm flag up. All right. Memphis has pretty good range, but it's not high. It's probably going to be about 6 feet off the ground. Yeah. That was good of him to challenge you on that after doing the kick. That was just amazing. And that's a development to your game that I haven't seen. You kind of always have just been forward, forward, forward. So when you're congested, to back it up, then, go back towards your goal and then fling it to the side. But that was beautiful. You did a move to evade the pressure to your left while going away from the goal what would that be? 30, 35 yards? Bringing back the big guns. I feel like this is the level of gamesmanship you see in World Cups, where a team that has the lead does all these substitutions to try to run off the clock. Now watch, you just scored twice in quick succession. I think Sydney, look at this. Sydney's given you quite a bit more energy than she normally had been doing. Look, she makes Grayson go wide, and then, his pass gets stolen by Lucy. And she's even here. She's playing pressure in Memphis. So you saw when they had the goals early in the game, the morale of the team was down. Nobody was running. And now they're feeling a little bit better. That was an excellent throw. That's what you want from a throw. Christian needs to hurry up and go, though. He can just put it on the ground and let Brian kick it. Well, wouldn't have went that direction. Look, Sydney's still going. And she's pressuring her going back and back. Well, that part wasn't good. You never want to kick it back towards your own goal. And that was like a dangerous play. I mean, the one girl had the ball way up by the sideline. You had 3 people around him, but she still got through. And again, you probably want one person up by the person taking the corner kick. Just anybody. Just because it changes the trajectory. And again, that's a dangerous play by you to try to just stick up your foot. Good stop. And it allowed your team. Sydney again. Sydney's playing strong. But by sticking your foot up in the air, it limits your ability to run. You can't run until you put the foot back down. So if you don't get your foot on it, you're in trouble. So it's better to just move your body to try to intercept the ball than to lift your foot. So to me, this is the perfect mistake. See how he had his corner and he kicked it back towards his own goal? Because had somebody been in the right position, you get it with a running start. Now, when you play players like this that are ultra aggressive, very lucky there, but ultra aggressive like Grayson is, where he's basically trying to use his physical skills to beat you. Not his technical skills, not his dribbling, his moves, hesitation, things like that. He's going to try to tap it around you and run to it. Now, I do think he's slightly faster than you. And he does seem to be slightly bigger and slightly stronger. But you've got to, make a fist with your hand, stick that arm out and get it in front of him. If nothing else, it slows him down. And again, when Brian does that one-step kick, it never goes far. Lucy does seem to have a good knack for finding you. Yep, good. You just got to get that ball out of there. Nothing good was going to come of that. Even though that's their 14 player, look how much time he needed to do something with it. And woo! I mean, that could have been bad. That was a good pass by that guy. He took the time, but definitely made good use of it. This is where I yelled for you to do the kick. And I needed it high. And this wasn't that high. And again, that was good by Isaac. I mean, he found a good guy, a guy that was open. He put a little too much weight on the ball. But you could say to him, man on, when somebody's running behind him, just so he's not caught off guard. And again, you need to run up quick and throw this. Walker needs to just go to the goal. See, this defender, he's got his hands on his knees, not paying attention. He needs to go. So you did a short throw. I still wouldn't have advised that. I still would have just tried to throw it over their heads because Walker will see that and he'll run to it. And when he gets going, he builds up that speed, especially with the tired defense. Good things tend to happen. Now, on your team, you don't have a player like Walker. You got Felix, which is kind of a lesser version of you. Beans she can play like that when she gets in the offensive end, but she's not as threatening a physical specimen like he is. It's one of the downsides to playing the whole game because I thought you played faster than Memphis in the beginning of the game. You definitely seem to be a half step ahead of him, but he gets breaks, and your team can't afford for you to have one. Now, they don't have Grace in here, so I don't feel like there's as much pressure on the ball. And again, you don't need to walk towards the ball. He's not going to do a small throw. So that's a situation. So Memphis is near you. You just need to use your body to shield him. Good job intercepting that. He had that really good throw last time. No, Mr. Caspian. Just, yep, right over their heads and let them run onto it. And do it again. But Walker needs to go to the goal. So this, I mean, look at the effort that Buckingham's giving. They don't really have much. You needed to be up. I mean, there's urgency here. You got about a minute left in the game. Walker, so close. So close. And that's something, you know, that's a tough shot for him. He's going to his left. He's got to finish with his left. But his left has already improved so much. He just needs to keep working on it. I know it's very tempting for all you guys to head a ball that's in the air, but none of you are good at it yet. All right. That's the game. That was inches away from stealing this game. And that was the same as you scored, I think, the last one. You do a move, you go backward into the left, take a shot with your left foot. First time it went in, this time it didn't.